Hey everybody, Jeremy Weiss here with Weiss Tech Hockey and StopConcussions.com. In this video, I've got a really basic hockey angling drill. This is going to be a great one for your novice players or players who are just getting introduced to body contact for the first time. The setup is pretty basic and there are 3 phases to this drill. So I'm going to show you all 3 phases and then you can kind of use these based on what your team's needs are. So let's go ahead, we'll pull up the rink and I'll show you the setup. Setup is pretty simple. We've got a cone in the corner. We've got a coach on the blue line with pucks, and then we've got 2 lines. We've got an X line and an O line. Now, in the first phase, what we're going to do, you can notice we've got the O line pushed slightly forward, slightly ahead of the X line, and I'll show you why in a second. So the first phase sets up like this, and basically what the first phase that we're going to work on is taking away the other player's skating lane. Now this actually has nothing to do with body contact. This is more of a body positioning type of a move that will allow you to win more races to loose pucks. So the basic premise behind this is the shortest distance to the puck is always going to be a straight line, right? So on the whistle, both players are going to go. The coach is going to dump a puck into the corner, and obviously X is trying to win foot race straight line to the puck, right? Now what we're going to try to do here is, since we started the O's ahead, we're giving them a slight advantage. So as the X leaves and goes in a straight line, now both players have to go down around the cone. Okay, win or lose, you've got to go around the cone. But what's going to happen is on the whistle, both players go, and the O player is going to get out slightly ahead of the X, and what we want him or her to do is cut into the X's skating lane and then drive down and take the puck. Okay, so this is actually a puck protection tactic, taking away the other player's skating lane. Basically what that means is that for the X now, if the O takes away the skating lane properly, now the X has to get around the O and beat that player to the puck, which is very unlikely. So it's taking away that player's skating lane. Basically you're allowing yourself to take that shorter route to the puck. After the players get to the puck, then basically it's just a foot race to the puck, and then you can attempt a shot on goal. So once you've gone down around the cone, you can cut out in front of the net for a shot or go around the opposite side for a wraparound. But that's the basic drill. That's phase 1. Now let's go ahead and cut to phase 2. Okay, so phase 2 sets up almost exactly the same as phase 1. The only differences is you can see we've pushed back the O line. So now they're starting on the blue line along with the X line. So they're both starting in the same place. And we've taken the pucks from the coach and put them in the X line. So each X player is going to start with a puck. The cone is still down here, and a couple key points to mention to your players on this. Basically what the drill is going to be is the X lines are going to go down around the bottom of the cone, then try to cut out in front of the net, while the O line tries to squeeze them off on an angle. What you want to mention to your X line, a couple things. What you want to mention to your X line is be careful about that 5-foot danger zone. The 5-foot danger zone is basically a 3 to 5 foot area. Anytime you get 3 to 5 feet away from the boards and you take a hit in that area, you run the risk of going either shoulder first into the boards or head first into the boards. Either way, you risk either a separated shoulder, dislocated shoulder, or worse, a concussion. So be careful about that 5-foot danger zone. Just mention it to your players. The best way to take a hit along the boards is actually to stick right close to the boards. Then the boards will actually help you to absorb that hit. So mention that to your players. But then, like I said, the drill itself, pretty basic. On the whistle, both players leave at the same time. X line drives down around, and then either cuts out front for the shot or peels back around the back of the net for the wraparound. In the meantime, the O line is trying to squeeze that player off. Take the angle, rub the player out against the boards, and take the puck. So either way, again, both players have to go down around the cone. If the O player ends up taking the puck off the X player, then the O player continues on with it and attempts a shot on net. So that's phase 2. Now let's go ahead. We'll clear off some of these arrows. And phase 3 is pretty straightforward. Almost exactly the same as phase 2. The only difference now is that we're going to take and get rid of the cone in the corner. So what that does now, on the whistle, exact same thing, except now neither player is forced to go down below the cone. So that means if O takes an improper angle, X is open to cut inside and drive to the net. So it just kind of forces those players to have to play it properly because there's no designated line that the player has to skate along. So that's your basic hockey angling drill. Hopefully you get some usage out of that one.